All right, so I'm here to introduce our next speakers, Robin and Lee Collins. Online since 2001, Lee and Robin built their business by taking smart marketing and customer support tactics to levels that nobody was applying. By doing what others weren't willing to do, Lee and Robin built a business that anyone would be proud of. Today, they're going to show us their 7-step system to create massive profits. Let's hear for massive profits. That was good. All right. Massive profits by focusing on your back-end products and ensuring you provide the value that your competitors aren't giving their customers. So you can maybe take away a few from their competitors. Their hybrid marketing system is truly amazing. I saw them present in Chicago. This is really fabulous stuff. So pay attention. They've got some great stuff, and they're going to open your eyes to unlimited income possibilities. Welcome, Lee and Robin Collins. Thanks, guys.
Okay, let's just do a mic check here. Can everybody hear me okay?
I can hear you.
I can't hear myself. Are we okay? Turn me up, because I don't get louder. It's just not the way it works. Okay, is that good for everybody? Robin, you want to do a mic check? Be sure you're okay?
Can you hear me? I'm louder than he is.
She's always louder. Okay, to be honest with you, we're going to do something a little different than what we normally do. We are going to show you our hybrid marketing system. We're going to show you how that works. We're actually going to give it to you before we leave today. So you can have the same 60-day plan that we have to automate your business in the back end, because that's really what it's all about, automating everything. So what we're really going to talk about today is something that's very difficult for us all to achieve, and that's the balance of family and business to create success. There's nothing more difficult for anybody who's still in corporate or doing their own thing than trying to have one foot in the entrepreneur world and one foot in the corporate world. I know because we've been there, and it was the hardest struggle we've ever had. It's difficult to find a place to stand up here because the room's kind of weird.
Just wander, it's okay.
Just wander?
Yeah.
I can't stand there because then I'll be in front of you.
The pressure.
We're not professional speakers. We never claim to be. We like to teach. We're up here to teach you and to share. And that's what we're going to do today. So Family Business Success by Lee and Robin Collins. Can't really see it, but that's a really cool looking graphic on this screen. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning here, because that's where it all began, right in the beginning. That's why it's called the beginning. Okay, so who are Lee and Robin Collins? I'm just going to have fun. Is that okay?
For you. Perfect.
If you can't have fun doing this, you shouldn't be doing it, right? Okay, so who are we? Poor beginnings. You've heard the stories. Grew up in a trailer park. Soles falling out of the bottom of my shoes for most of my life. I have better shoes now. If you ever went to a dollar store to buy shoes, that was me. Thrift store, the best pair of pants I ever had as a kid. I was 14 years old. This is a true story. I went to a thrift store. They had some leather pants there. And I always wanted to be a rock star, right? So I'm like, oh, leather pants. Have you ever seen the parachute pants with the zippers and stuff? They were like that, but they were leather. Got them for $5. They were so hot. It was South Carolina, so it was like the middle of summer. I had these pants, these leather jeans. I wore them to school. Everybody's like, what are you doing in leather pants? $5. You can't beat that. If I could still have them today, I would have them today.
Oh, thank God he lost them. Sorry.
The thing is, we couldn't afford to get them clean when I was a kid, right? That we couldn't afford to dry clean for them, so they were like stinky. I'm just going to bare my soul here. Is that okay? Okay, so poor beginnings. We really started in a trailer park. I really grew up in a trailer park. We didn't have much money when I was growing up at all. Honest to God. Robin grew up in a cornfield in Ohio. Not actually in the cornfield. She had a house.
Yeah.
But she grew up in the cornfields of Ohio. Pretty much the same situation as us. Not a lot of money, et cetera, et cetera. The big thing I wanted as a kid was to get the heck out of that small town and find out what the real world was really about. Because I knew that whatever was going on there, it was oppressive, it was sad, everybody was complaining about everything all the time. I didn't want to be a part of that. It just wasn't a positive influence on my life. So what happened is, graduated high school, went to Myrtle Beach for a week with my friends, shipped out to the Air Force. That goes into step 2, military. We both have military backgrounds. One of the things we did in the military was we were trainers. So we were able to take the complex ideas in our technical career field, and we were able to break those down into simple strategy plans. We called them continuity books. Basically what would happen is if I got shipped out someplace, somebody needed to be able to pick up and do my job. So I had to create a continuity book that described my job, so if I died, somebody else could just pick up the book and do it. That was our specialty. For 10 years, we created training plans for the military that are still in use today in our career field. Every base we went to, we re-implemented those training plans. Does that have something to drink? Thank you. Now, I met Robin in Korea. I was on a short tour. She was too. 1 year away from our family in Korea. She actually worked for me there. She was the best worker that I had.
Aww.
She was the only worker in that team that would actually do any work. So we rewrote the training plans. We actually revamped it. We were the first to install a network, computer network overseas at Osan Air Base. We did that. So, you know, it was cool because we've always worked together from day one. Today, we still work together, and it's, what, 15 years later?
80.
80,000 years later, we're still working together. Okay, so military. We're both in the same career field. They didn't believe in letting husband and wife work together in the same career field, so we were often separated. Basically what happened is she ended up working on the server side. I was working on the network side. So together we had this complete knowledge of the entire infrastructure. Sort of the same way we do things now. I mean, I have the online knowledge and she does the offline stuff. We really combine it all together. And we'll talk a little bit more about the hybrid marketing a little later. So military. After the military, what was happening really, we wanted to stay in the military. We loved it there. But all of our benefits were getting stripped away. What we found was that by the time we retired in 20 years, we were going to be making like a pension check of $200 a month, if that. Barely any benefits. All the veterans' benefits were all going away, so we got out of the military. Basically what happened is because we had such a technical career field and because of our specialty, we went right into corporate and almost tripled our salary immediately, overnight. We went from being like welfare to having money. It was kind of cool. The better part of the story, though, is freedom. Military to corporate, nice jump. Corporate to freedom, which means doing it on our own.
Better jump.
Better jump. What happened was I'll let Robin sort of tell some of this story too. You want to come up and talk about this?
You gonna let me talk?
What we're going to talk about real quick is the fact that Robin at one time was my biggest stumbling block.
Oh, thanks. I come up for that.
I just wanted you to be clearly visible
Just
when I said
stand up
stumbling
and
block.
Well, it's true. I mean, because I was raised in cornfields of Ohio, you know, manufacturing towns, not a lot of money. You were raised to go to school, get a job, have a family. Always working for somebody else. It was never mentioned to me in my family unit or in my community that you could actually work for yourself. That was an anomaly. They still think we're freaks. They think, you know, they have no idea what we do. They have no idea at all.
Well,
But I mean, that
here's
was a
what
mindset
happens.
to have to conquer. I mean, because you're raised in that little box of this is what you're supposed to do, and to jump out of that and to believe you can do something on your own, it's a difficult jump. It was for me, and that's why I was as big a stumbling block, because I was a little slower to dream like he did.
Let me ask everybody a serious question. Before you came here, did you tell your friends and family, hey, I'm going to go to one of those business conferences again and learn about marketing? Or did you maybe say, I'm going to Vegas to have a nice weekend? Like some of you confessed to me last night that you said, hey, I'm going to Vegas to have fun. You know, that's what a lot of people said. When we're in Orlando, it's the same thing. Hey, I'm just going to Disney World. We're going to Orlando. You know, a lot of times we hide the intentions of what we're going to do because we don't want to face the ridicule of our family and friends. Sometimes your family and friends can be your biggest detractors, as you all well know. We know this. What happens is, when you tell, in 2001 when we first started, told my best friend, I said, look, I think I can do this online thing. And he said, yeah, it won't last. You can't do it. Now, 8 years later, he says, hey, you still doing that online thing? Can I do it too? He actually contacted me. It's a guy I worked with in corporate. He was a project manager there. He found us online. He found I sent a note back saying, hey guys, it's been 6 months. You know, I'm still doing this. If anybody wants to come play, you know, in the real world, let's do it. And he found me because of that note, and he said, hey, Lee, can I do this too, do you think? He's a fantastic project manager. I think he'd do a great job.
He could work for us.
So that's basically where we came from. Poor beginnings, military, corporate, then freedom.
Let me sit back down.
Yeah, you can
Right.
stand. I like watching you stand. It's okay.
No.
Okay. So the objectives today are basically is who are we, how it all started. We're going to share with you our family business success triangle is what we call it. And we're going to share with you our hybrid marketing success plan. So how it all started. Anybody ever seen these little cars? In 2001, I had this fantastic idea that came to me because of spam. One thing I want to share with you, spam, it's frustrating, right? You get too much of it, you get too many emails, and all it does is clutter up your inbox. I don't think that way, because spam is what made us start selling these things. We were getting a ton of emails about these little race cars that they called mini racers or mini RC cars. So I started doing some research. I found out that they were like the next Cabbage Patch Kid kind of thing. I mean, they were going to be real big for Christmas. So, what?
You're dating yourself
Cabbage Patch
tremendously.
Kid. I am older than I look. So we see these emails about these little cars. I do a lot of research. I find out, hey, I think this is going to do something good. The problem with it is, and this is the stumbling block piece, I've been trying for about 2 years to make this thing work. And what Robin didn't know for a long time, even though she supported me in doing this online business, is that I had gone out and applied for a lot of credit cards. And I bought a lot of stuff on credit cards. In the beginning, we tallied up $22,000 worth of debt that first year. We've gone back and looked, it was closer to $35,000. So $35,000 is what I spent over the first year to try to make this online thing work. In October, Robin came to me. It was about the same time I started getting these little emails about these cars. And she said, Lee, we need to talk. Anybody ever got that from their spouse or loved one? Or what? We need to talk. You know it's not a good thing, right? Something, oh crap, what did I do? I didn't know. So she had this stack of papers in her hand, and it was all the credit card statements for that month. And she said, we need to talk about these. See, she didn't know that I'd gotten the credit card. She knew that I was doing the online business thing, trying some stuff. I'd buy something here and there, but she just thought, hey, a couple $100 or whatever, 35 grand. So what Robin told me, she said, you either got to make some money with this like now, or you have to quit forever. I was already doing the research here. I dug through a lot of the stuff that I had purchased in the past, because the greatest place we can learn from is mentors. We have to learn from other people. Everybody who has a coach succeeds better than people who do it on their own. So what I did is I went to all those materials that I'd bought. I said, there has to be one little nugget of goodness in this somewhere. So I dug through them all. It took me it was between 4 and 6 weeks. I don't really clearly remember. But I finally came up with that light bulb moment. Everything clicked for me. I realized that the reason that I hadn't succeeded the way that I wanted to and knew that I could is because I really didn't have a plan. I was trying this thing, then I was trying that thing, and I was going all over the board. Anybody else done that? Yeah? So I was all over the board, trying all these things, and nothing gelled, nothing came together. So what I did is I went back to the military training. If I was doing this in the military, there could be 20 tasks that I need to do, but really what I need to do is focus on doing them in order, a specific sequence, and drop the stuff that doesn't work. I'm a big advocate of testing now. I test everything. The reason I do is so I know where I can take advantage of money and spending money and not spending money. So I dug through all this stuff. I go to Robin, I say, hey honey, I showed her the picture of the cars. I had a little stack of emails. Look at all this stuff. I wanted to prove myself that, hey, this is going to work this time. Look at all this research I've done, all this stuff. Basically it came down to 4 steps. The 4 steps were find a market, which I'd done. And you can write these down if you want, because to achieve success, it's really as easy as these 4 steps. Find a market. The market was Christmas. Kids, people were going crazy about these cars. They were running out of them in the malls, everywhere. Find the product. I found the product. Build a medium through which to sell them. Now that can be online or offline, it doesn't matter. It might be a website, It might be a classified ad. And what we'll do is we'll show you how we combine all that stuff together in a hybrid marketing system. But have a medium to sell those things. And step 4 is the easiest of all. Once you start making the sales, just repeat the process. What happened is we built an empire of selling these little cars from our kitchen table in Richmond, Virginia, that outsold on the East Coast all the major toy manufacturers' cars that were being sold at the time. We were outselling Radio Shack. We were outselling everybody, right from our kitchen table. True story, too. That Thanksgiving, her parents came down from Ohio to Richmond, Virginia. We cleared off all the stuff from the table, all the cars that were stacked like this high, ate our Thanksgiving dinner, then put all the stuff back on the table. What we did the rest of the weekend was we packed cars and shipped them out. And we were shipping cars out to, I think, 17 different countries, all from our kitchen table. So, and it was all from following that simple 4-step plan. Market, product, sales medium, repeat. That's all it took. What happened that day, I skipped the most important part, really. So I go to Robin and I say, hey, honey, I need $500 to make this work. I really think it's going to work this time. So I go to Robin and I say, I need $500. She says, Lee, we don't have any money. You've already spent all the money. Plus, we got $35,000 in debt. So I said, yes, we do. We have the $500 we saved for the kids' Christmas. So I went to Robin and I begged and pleaded with her for like 2 days. And I said, if you'll just let me have this $500, I'll give this one last try. I'll prove to you that it's going to work. When it does, we'll be good. And if it doesn't, I'll quit forever, just like I promised. So what happened is, took days and days of begging and pleading. She finally gave me the money. She didn't know I had everything in the background set up to go. All I basically had to do was send that first email to the guy in China that I've been working the deal out with to get the cars, and it was all done. Later that day, I went to Robin, had a check in hand. Invisible to her was $500. I said, honey, here's your check for $500. And as she took the check from my hand, she saw the extra zero. $5,000 that first day. We went on to make our first $20,000 month that month, and it just kept growing from there. We eventually sold this business to a competitor 6 months later for a nice figure. Then we did it again because we didn't have a non-compete. So, replicate, do it again. You remember that repeat part, number 4? We built, I think, 4 different variations of this whole business over the next 6 months. So repeat, it's very important. So that's how it all started for us with these stupid little cars. We actually have one here if you want to see it. This is one of the originals. What we did is we went above and beyond. You know, in our little intro, it said we did things that people weren't willing to do. We listened to our customers and clients. We found out what they wanted, and we gave it to them. In the beginning, the website was very simple. You know, it was based on a philosophy I came up with called one-page moneymakers. Build a simple one-page website. Get the audience, be sure that they're receptive to your message, be sure that they want what you have to sell without investing a whole lot of time, effort, or energy into it. If it takes off, start getting feedback from your clients and then start growing the site based on that. So what we started to do was they were saying, hey Lee, is this car better than this or not? So we had like a review site for the cars. We built it all right there into the website. We actually took the cars and drew lines on the floor and, you know, made them, ran them. Can I say ran them? Is that like technical?
Raced them?
Raced them, yeah, that's it. So we raced them from one point to the other and timed how fast they would get from here to there. Because your kid needs the fastest car, right? You don't want him to have the slow one because then little Joey next door is going to beat him in the race. We started getting graphics packages for the cars. We started getting upgraded motors for the cars. We actually worked with the manufacturer in China, and we were one of the first people to put little lights inside the cars because people said, hey, my boy wants to run the car at night. I can't do it because he can't see. Can you get us lights? So like 3 weeks later, we had lights. So we made that available. We actually showed people how to build drag strips so they could drag race the cars with a little 2x4. Very simple. Paint it black. We had a kit. You could buy it from us, and it was done. So everything that they wanted, we would give to them. It's very important. Listen to your customers. Now, one of the misnomers,
That's the right word.
that's a good word.
It's an awfully big word.
That's
for
an awfully
internet
big word for an
marketer.
internet marketer, right, Mark? There's something out there that says if you want to know what your customers want, ask them. 9 times out of 10, that's a recipe for failure. Because they're not going to tell you most of the time what they really want. It's all about having the mindset. It's all about being in the frame of mind. Now, when I was in school, I took geometry for like the first semester in high school, whatever. And in class, I knew exactly what they were talking about. I suck at math, by the way. If it has a dollar sign, I'm good with it, but otherwise, no. So geometry class, I'm in class, I know exactly what's going on, they're explaining on the board, everything's cool, and I was very happy because I can do this, but I got home, and suddenly I didn't know what the heck was going on. I couldn't figure anything out. There was no internet at the time, so, oh God, I really did date myself, didn't I? So there was no internet at the time because I couldn't look it up. And it's all about the mindset. Now, where I'm getting with that is if you ask your customers what they want, they're in a certain frame of mind when they give you the answer. Their true desires may not come out in that. So what we did is we didn't ask them what they wanted. We simply put something up on the website and got their response to it. So if we put up something that said, hey, this car's better than that one, and we got 50 responses to people that said, no, we like the other one better, we know what they really wanted. We know which cars they felt was better. So we started putting their feedback on the sites. A lot of information about these little cars. You could actually go to Alexa and look up miniracer.net. And miniracer.net was our old original site. The guy we sold it to, I think he just wanted us out of business. I'm sure that's what it was, because he never did anything with the site. It was a big money maker. We actually sold distributorships too. And we'll tell you more about the distributorship model. The way a distributorship works, if you ever want to have a business where there's no refunds and basically no complaints, you don't have to ship out all these little cars all the time yourself, set up a distributorship. It's the key to a huge success. You can set up a distributorship at almost any business. What was happening is we were selling all these cars and shipping them out. We didn't want to do that anymore. We'd rather just send out a big box. So we set up a distributorship. They could buy into it for $300. We'd sell them the box. There's no refunds. You buy the box. It's your cars. You sell them to your customers, and everything's cool. Okay, so enough about the cars, right? Family business success. Let's talk about family first. Now, there are certain reasons that I'm sorry the pictures don't show up well because it's bright in here, but there are reasons that you do what you do. We do what we do because of family. We want to spend time with our family. Just think of it like 2 bank accounts. One bank account you can put money in, one bank account you can put time in. The one that can be replenished is the one with money. You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. So what happens is you want to spend more time with your family and do the things that you want to do. The true definition of success, as I heard from somebody, I can't recall who, is being able to do what you want, with whom you want, whenever you want, without worrying about money. That's what you really want to accomplish. That fits into everybody's idea of the ideal lifestyle. Your ideal lifestyle may be different than mine, but they're all going to revolve around being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, without worrying about money. All the other things you can fill in the details yourself later. So what we do it for is family, and it's all about repeat profits. You want repeat profits. You want money that keeps coming in over and over and over again. So repeat profits enables you to have your ideal lifestyle, to enjoy time with your family. This is us in San Diego. This is us in La Jolla, California. This is me trying to pretend to sing. We do karaoke a lot. I mean, it got so bad. Robin likes to sing too. I had to buy 2 microphones because she would never let me have a microphone. There's me with the one at the time. Actually, to be honest with you, because I have the mic, it's obvious that I was the mic hog. So there's us again. One of the things that we like to do is off-road. So we realized in 2002, we said, we've kind of forgotten the core of what this stuff really means. We feel like we've forgotten how to have fun. Does anybody ever feel like you forgot how to have fun? You're so busy in life and so busy doing stuff that you can't be. You can't have fun. You can't be what you want to be. And foster those roots of enjoyment and things that you enjoyed when you were younger or whatever the case might be. So we went out, we bought a four-wheel drive truck. It's a Land Rover Discovery. We bought it used because we knew we were going to beat the heck out of it on the trails anyway. And so that's what we do. We go out and we four-wheel. We like to camp, we like to four-wheel. We have 2 quads that we bought because we didn't want to take the truck out all the time. Then we got bored with the quads. So if anybody wants them, just let us know. We bought a house up in Michigan. This is actually sort of going back to corporate. We moved up there 4 years ago now, something like that. And of course, the kids. They hate this picture, which is why I always include it in the slideshow. This is the kids at Christmas. But it's all for family. It's all to do the things that we want to do and enjoy what we want to enjoy. Do what we want, when we want, with whom we want, without worrying about money. That's what repeat profits allows you to do. Is this making sense to everybody so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have 5 little rules that we sort of live by, and these may be things that you can incorporate and enjoy in your life too. And these things generally happen before we make any big decision or whatever. We always ask ourselves these things. The first thing is, do I help or hurt with my input? Do I help or hurt with my input? There's a lot of times when you might insert yourself into a conversation with family or friends or whomever, and sometimes you may hurt the situation because you don't have the full picture. So what we've incorporated into our life is asking that question first, because we want to really take that step back. I mean, don't just immediately do word vomit to people. Just say, hey, is this going to help or hurt if I say this? Now, you can make your own decisions. I'm not trying to tell you how to moralize yourself or ethics yourself, but you can make your own decisions whether or not you want to help or hurt. But we encourage folks to think about that before you actually insert yourself into it. Does my input contribute to a positive end? We like to create positive end results in situations that we're involved in. So we like to ask, does my input contribute to a positive end? One of the things we learned in the military is that often I can do something superseded should I do something. Have there been times in your life that you could do something, but you knew in the back of your mind that you shouldn't, but maybe you did anyway? Like, maybe I can buy that new $50,000 car or $20,000 car or whatever the case might be. Can you versus should you? Later on, you might have a little pang of regret or whatever that says, I shouldn't have done that or whatever. So you should always ask, we believe, should I as much as can I? The next 2 we incorporated, mainly because of family, to be honest with you. I'm not ashamed to say that. I'll say it to them. I have said it to them. Actually, I recently said it to somebody. These are very important to us because how many times has your family guilted you into doing something, right? Am I acting from guilt? Anything that's born out of guilt, I believe, can't possibly contribute to a positive end result.
That's right.
Nothing.
Amen.
If you do something because you feel guilty, there's going to be some inner stress or inner animosity or inner issues going on about that, perhaps for the rest of your life, depending on the severity of the issue. Am I doing this from guilt? Now, the converse of that is this one. Am I acting from spite? Am I doing it just to spite somebody? Also very important, we believe. These are 5 rules that we live by. These are 5 rules that we've applied to our life that have made the freedom and the success and the family and the business and everything just work together because it's all about creating a balance. These 5 rules help us create that balance. You're welcome to use these in your life. We'd love to talk to you about them more if you'd like to. So this is mostly the family part. Business.
You look at me like I know what you're going to do.
I don't like you being behind me like that.
The sun.
But can you get right there? Really? I'm not joking.
I know you're not joking. Is that better, baby?
Now sit down, let me see.
Better?
Maybe like 6 inches further that way.
Not moving.
No? I'd like you in my peripheral.
You should add to your list of
Very
rules,
good.
don't act if you're being rotten.
Turn around to look at you. I just don't like that. I like you right there.
I'm here to please.
Actually, she says that I'm a little bit OCD.
He's a lot bit OCD.
And right now, because I did ask her to move 6 inches further that way, and it was for 2 reasons. One, so I don't have to turn and look at her more. But the second reason is, you see that line right there? I can't stand looking at that line.
I'm here to please, honey.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I love you. Okay, so business. Being able to have a successful business comes from having a good plan and a good checklist. We learned that in the military. Now, I'll share this with you, and I wouldn't normally share it with most people, but sometimes when we're in the military, we often wonder, man, if we're the best trained military in the world, the other guys must really suck. But the reason we were better planned is because we were better trained, and we had checklists, and we had plans, we had things that other people didn't have. And we learned that by going overseas and being at overseas duty locations. We actually saw, the South Korean folks. We saw how they were trained, we saw how they worked. We implemented some of the strategies that we had with them at the base because we were better trained. We had the plans, we had the checklist. We had, okay, do this, then do this, then do this. They didn't have that. So we implemented those things for them, made their life easier, made things work better for them. So having a successful business is about having a plan or a checklist. It's really about doing it once, getting paid forever. Now you hear that all the time, and a lot of times the people who say that are just spouting something they've heard from someplace else, and if you look at their business plan and their business model and what they're doing, they don't have this going on at all. All they're doing is constantly launching something and having to do the work over and over and over again. What you really want to have in your business is the ability to generate income, money, profits, without having to do the work over and over and over again. The automation that we'll talk about, or actually Robin will talk about in a little bit, with the hybrid marketing system, is all about automating the profits. We do it once, we set it up, then we walk away. We don't have to do it again. We repeat, because it's smart to build multiple streams of income. Have you heard that term before, probably? But we don't have to do the work ourselves over and over and over again. It's about having a system. I love you being there versus here. It's so nice.
Glad you're happy.
Now if we could just do something about that light. It's about having a system. And we like to think a system is an acronym. That's the right thing, the right term, right?
Yes.
If it wasn't for her, I just couldn't function. We just recently hired a PA, and I'm so excited about having a personal assistant because if you take the stuff that she's started to do for me over the past 2 years, she offloaded a ton of work so I could just be creative and do my whatever it is that I do.
Whatever that is.
Now, if we have a personal assistant, it's going to be like having 2 Robins.
Oh,
So the workload on Lee, guess what happens to it? It just really goes down to nothing. So then I can just play and do my stuff. System saves you significant time, energy, and money.
Repeat that.
Saves you significant time, energy, and money.
Thank you.
A system saves you significant time, energy, and money. If it doesn't, you don't really have a system. And here's something that we've recently started to say that a lot of people don't like, and I don't care, because it's the truth. The money is not in the list. Tell me, if you have a list of 50,000 people, but you don't have a plan, a checklist, a process, and a system that lets you do it once, get paid forever, where's the money come from? Are they just going to send you money for no reason, just because they're on your list? They're not, are they? You have to have the back end in place. The back end, combined with the list, is where the money is. Stop living by the half-truth that says the money's in the list. The money's not in the list. The map. We had this little game that we like to play sometimes at events, and here's what it's about. The map, the system. What if you could turn $10 into $50 right now, on the spot? How many people would like to do that? Okay. Now what we do is we give people a map, and we sell it to you for $10, and we do keep your money. Okay? We don't give it back. There's no refund policy. We give you the map. We normally sell the map to 3 people, 3 eager people who show that they're willing to buy the map. While I'm up here on stage, usually they come up and give the $10 to Robin. That way they can actually buy the product.
Thanks.
We have 2. We only have 1 more available. Time's running out.
They're running. Don't fall, good Lord.
Please don't fall. We had a lady, honest, she fell down running to the stage at the event. I felt so bad. I gave her my product for free. So don't fall down, because then I'll think you're just doing it because I just said that. Okay.
I hate being
Are we sold out?
The blind lady made it up here.
Yeah.
On her own.
She was able to see the opportunity.
Yeah, but we've already got 3.
Sell her one. Hey,
Okay.
go ahead.
I'll sell you one.
I'm sorry. You gave up on us too quickly. I apologize.
Oh
You have to be persistent.
You
Okay,
just like causing controversy. That's all.
so 4
it is.
people. 40 bucks. We got 4 maps.
Now what?
Oh crap!
That's a good question.
Now what?
He's in charge of the map.
I don't have a map though.
Can I give them a verbal map?
Yeah. Here's what happens. You make an offer to people. The people with money show up to buy it. Now, I don't want to offend anybody with any low-quality language, but I'm going to use one low-quality word here in just a second. And here's what that low-quality word is going to be. How many marketers do you know that tell you get as many people into your funnel as possible and work it out later? Then you can filter them after the fact. To me, that's an awful lot of work. To me, I don't like throwing shit against the wall to see where it's going to stick.
Oh, there's the dirty word.
There's the word, and it's the only time I'll say it. It's over, done with. We got past that, right? I like to know the exact spot where I should throw it so that it does stick each and every time. We pre-filter our customers based on several things. 1, money. If you had $10 and you made it here to Robin, you bought the map. Pre-filtering your customer gives you the unique opportunity to know that your customer is ready, willing, and able to buy something from you. You don't have to do all that extra work to step them up through something or start at a low cost and go up. Now, I'm not saying that that's a wrong way to do things. I'm just saying that it doesn't work as well for us, because I'd rather go for the jugular and sell you something for $5, and then the next thing you see from me ask for $2,000. That's the way I like to do business, because then people don't get the assumption that you're just giving free stuff away. So $5 to $2,000. If you talk to many marketers, they would say that would be absolutely crazy to do that. You have to go 47, then 97, then 200, then 500, then maybe you can get to $2,000. That takes a lot of time. I don't like wasting my time. So I go 5 to $2,000. If you don't have $2,000, sorry, we can't work together. After the $2,000, though, we drop down to like 500. Reasonable prices. We go for the high ticket, the big ticket in the beginning. And we're able to do that because of the way we have our process together, which Robin will show you. Now, normally we would come in the night before, tape something to the bottom of several chairs.
But those of you who saw Lee last night knew that wasn't going to happen.
It's all Eric Stafford's fault. So how are we going to do this, Robin?
Well, I can give them each a number, and with that number, they can go get instructions from the registration table.
Who bought a map for 10 bucks? Come up here right now.
Pick one, anyone.
No, let's just do it this
He's gonna
way.
change
Here.
things on me. You can't have that, I'm sorry.
Well, how many maps did we sell?
We sold 4.
4. Okay.
How do you got money?
Don't worry about it.
You didn't see him in the poker room last night?
No.
Hey, do you have that 50?
Oh, you want my money now?
Yeah, give me your money too. Who bought a map?
Your name come up?
No.
Oh, I keep giving you the wrong instructions. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Your sales process should never be confusing.
This is an example of how not to do it.
Okay. Think of a number.
I
1
have
to
1
10.
through 4 that I have written down
Oh,
which
okay.
ones.
Well, just hand them the 1 through 4s.
You should just let me do the technical. Now I get one? Yeah. I mix them up. I don't know which ones are which. There you go, ma'am.
Here's the money. So we're going to give away money. So 3 of you are going to double your money. 1 of you is going to get the $50 big prize. Now, normally what happens is we normally have 2 people who make money, 1 person that gets the money back that they spent, 1 person that gets like $1, and 1 person that gets 50. The reason we do that is because in business, nothing's guaranteed. How many Subway restaurants start up each year and close down because they just don't work out? Maybe they picked a bad location. I mean, how many restaurants do you know of that start and fail? I mean, you could spend $300,000 on a franchise, pay them 6% royalty fees for the rest of your life, pay $150,000, $200,000 for a location, and you might go broke next year because it just doesn't work. So business is not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed to work. I never said that you were going to get your money doubled or tripled or whatever. I can't do that. So a lot of times what we would do is we'll actually have people lose money, people make the same amount, and then people like get a big prize. Sometimes it's $100, sometimes it's more. Give them the money.
Okay, who's got
We're giving
number
away
1?
free money at JV Alert.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Doubled your money?
Congratulations, you
That's
doubled your money.
Number 2? 2? Doubled your money. Congratulations. 3? You also doubled your money. You get a 50. Now you have to do a happy dance. You have to do a happy dance when you make $50. Happy dance. Come on. See, now I'm going to talk because I'm standing up.
Okay, please do, that's fine.
Okay.
Go for
Well,
it.
basically, if you look at that,
Hey, wait,
exercise.
where should I sit?
Just
Anywhere?
stand there and look pretty.
Okay.
But basically, that's your sales process. If you look at that example, it was a little convoluted because he didn't get a prep last night, but that's okay. But if you look at it, you qualify your person. You don't want to work with people who don't have any money because obviously you're an exchange business. You're exchanging your services for money or your goods for money. So you have to qualify your customer to say, hey, do you have money? They say, yes, I have money. You're like, okay, great, we can talk. Qualify your lead, right? Then the second thing is that here's your offer. Here's what you're going to get from working with me. You're going to get a map. That map could lead to you getting 5 times your money. So if they're interested, they will then exchange their money for your map, their money for your goods. You deliver the map to them because it's your job to deliver what they purchase. You have to follow through and give them what you told them you were going to do. That's what business is. They take the map. Their next responsibility is then to follow the map, follow the instructions. If they buy one of our information products, we expect them to follow the instructions, right? We're there to help if they need it. Like we had to clarify a little today because it was a little off of the map, but that's okay. That's what we're here for. We're your support system. So you followed the map. As a result, you got what we said you would, up to 5 times your money. So that's the whole sales process there, you guys. It's really that simple. All you do is plug in your services, tell them what you're going to offer, make the exchange. You both give what you said you're going to give. That's it. Plug in any product. It could be money. It could be a map for money. It could be a car. It could be mini racers. It could be anything. But don't overcomplicate things. Keep it simple and follow the process.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm done. You can talk again.
I can talk. Thank you. Dixie just wants to give me a lot more money.
She's liking these odds and
I made
makers.
10, I did it 500%. Yeah, let's do more. Can I give you $100 now, right? Do you have $100 that you'd like to give me in hopes of making 5?
If I can replace it, yes.
No guarantees?
No guarantees. I'm sorry, Dixie. You know how this works. This is business. Now, what Robin said is very important. There are some people who can follow the map and actually get great results, but there are some people who are going to look at the map and say, oh, this is a cool looking map, and that's all they're going to do. Sometimes when people buy information products, they might say things like, well, this doesn't work. The point is, it's not supposed to. You are. You're supposed to work. You're supposed to follow the system. You're supposed to follow the step-by-step directions to do it. Because if it's worked for her, if it's worked for me, it can work for you. Now, am I saying that you're doing something wrong? No. Sometimes the system doesn't resonate with you, and that's why it doesn't work for you. A couple years ago, I bought a product about succeeding on eBay. I spent $1,000 on that product. It was $9.97. I spent $1,000 on a product that I could easily say doesn't work. But you know what really didn't work? Me, with it. I don't have any desire to sell on eBay. So why did I spend $1,000? Because it looked like it was going to be easy. When I got it home, I put the package on my desk, and I never got back around to it because selling on eBay doesn't resonate with me. Buying on eBay resonates with me. I like to buy stuff. I don't like to sell stuff on eBay. So that product sits there. Now, what I could have done is I could have sent it back and said, hey, I want a refund. But I felt personally obligated to that product because I made the choice to buy it. I made the choice to buy it. I changed my mind after I bought it because I convinced myself under my own false pretenses that I wanted this product. Should I send it back and get my money back? Maybe. But I didn't. I never did because it's my responsibility to own that product. If I do something with it, it's me. Actually, what I ended up doing is we were working with a client, a coaching client, who really wanted to do stuff on eBay, so I just gave it to them. That's what we do. If you have a product that you want to get rid of, and you're working with us, we're coaching you, or whatever the case might be, something that you bought, we'll buy it from you, and we'll usually give it to somebody who can use it. So these are some of the things that we try to do. We try to do things that give back. Now, you know, we qualify people with money because we find that people who have the money and want to spend it have a more generous attitude. But we did sort of a dissection of a word the other day. The word is deserve. People feel that they deserve some things. If you look at the word, it's really a word with a prefix. Now, I'm not a grammatical guy, so I might say these things wrong, but here's basically what I'm getting to. De and serve. If you say I'm going to toxify something, that means you're going to add toxicity to it.
Toxicity.
Yeah, that's it.
Poison,
But if you
bad thing.
detoxify it, you take that away, right? Think about serve. What does serve mean? Tell me, what does serve mean to you? If you're going to serve somebody, you're going to give graciously, right?
You're going to wait on them, he said.
Wait on,
Yes.
exactly. But if you deserve somebody, or you feel that you deserve, what are you doing? You're taking, right? You're not being gracious, you're not being giving. So we found that the word deserve in itself to us means lack of gratitude, lack of giving. Do I deserve my money back? The guy gave me a perfectly good product. The client that we gave it to is making a lot of money on eBay with it. It worked. I didn't work it. So that's all about the map. It's all about having the plan and following the plan.
It's also a good line on accountability, which we really believe in on
Okay.
both sides.
Accountability. We talk about our family business success triangle, and we'll talk about that more in just a second. But family business success has a component called accountability, and we'll talk about that momentarily. All right, so success. What is success? We sort of gave you a definition that I don't recall who it came from, but it wasn't ours. I just want to get on record and say I didn't originate that. As a matter of fact, there's very few things in this world that are truly originated anymore. So don't be concerned about borrowing stuff. That brings us to chicken scratch. What is chicken scratch? I heard this story years ago about a blind chicken.
Blind chicken.
The blind chicken scratched all day from dawn till dark trying to find food. Scratched all day. Does anybody feel like they're scratching dawn to dark? Right? I'm scratching around trying to make stuff happen. It's just not happening. I can't make money. I can't get the success I want. It's the blind chicken, right? You feel like a blind chicken. That's what I felt like. I felt like a blind chicken for a long time. Are you just laughing?
I'm so laughing.
Let me tell my story. It's the blind chicken story. I got to tell this. So the blind chicken scratching around all the time, trying to get the food, trying to make things happen. Every once in a while, gets a little morsel, a little crumb or whatever. What the blind chicken didn't know is that there was a hen that followed the blind chicken around all the time. And every time the blind chicken scratched something up, the hen was there to grab the food. Who was doing all the work? The blind chicken, right? The hen wasn't doing the work, but was getting the benefit of the chicken. There's a lot of things that have been done. Private license rights, private label rights, resale rights. There's a lot of work that's been done. We work with outsourcers all the time. They can do the work for you and you can get the benefit. The systems that we create, the systems other folks are going to talk to you about this weekend, the work's been done. All you have to do is reap the benefit by following the plan. So that's chicken scratch. That's my silly little story. $1 million sales letter. Anybody who wants it, we're going to give you $1 million sales letter today. All you have to do is meet with us. No cost. You can just have it. Now, I'm going to give you a warning with this $1 million sales letter that it may or may not produce any money at all for you. It's produced over $1 million for us. The reason it's produced over $1 million for us is not the letter itself. It is a good letter, but it's the back-end process. When you see an iceberg, the tip of the iceberg, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on behind the scenes, right, that you don't see. You only see like 1 or 2% of the iceberg. That's what this $1 million sales letter is. It's like the one piece up front that kicks the process off. All the stuff that happens behind the scenes, Robin's going to explain to you in just a minute and show you how it works. That way you understand that if I give you this $1 million sales letter, you may make money with it. You may make some, you may make none. I can't guarantee that because I can't guarantee that you'll do all the work in the back end to make it happen. Does that make sense? Automated marketing plan, we'll just go right into that. Robin, this is your
Hey,
part.
this is me.
Darling. So let me introduce this to you.
Oh, God.
No, not Robin. The plan.
You do the clicker. I don't
You
do
may
the
do the
clicker.
clicker. Okay, so we talked about automation. And we talked about the fact that if you automate things, you don't have to do all the work. Automation to me means that somebody or something else is doing the work. It doesn't have to be like a computer program or whatever. Automation is anytime I don't have to do the work. So automation to me is people or things doing the work on my behalf so that I can accomplish my desired end result. You have to start with the end in mind. Anybody heard that before? Yeah. Have a clear desired end result about what you want to accomplish. Have a clear desired end result. This plan helps with that end result for us because what it does is, starting from the time anybody interacts with us online or offline, by fax, by email, by website, by text, by mail, by postcard, any way that they interact with us, it brings them into the exact same process. Everything funnels to one place, then it goes into this. And this all just happens in an automated fashion. In over 60 days, all we have to do is touch 2 points in this process ourselves, and she'll explain everything to you. We're starting now.
Go sit right there for that line.
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, as you guys know from the introduction, we do hybrid marketing. And basically what hybrid marketing is taking all the benefits of online tools and the benefits of offline tools that have worked for hundreds of years and doing both. And the reason you want to do both is, as you know, anyone who has an online business that they've had for any length of time, you know that it goes up and down. Some months you're doing really well, some months it goes down, then up and down, or you might go up for a while, then you go down for a while. The truth behind all of it is the same exact thing is happening in the direct mail side or on the offline marketing side. They have the same kind of roller coaster ride going on too. What we discovered way back with the mini racers, from way back in the beginning, is that these were out of sync. So like when online was doing really good, the offline stuff was kind of bottoming out a little bit or leveling out. But then as the offline stuff would come back up, the online stuff started being a little less responsive. Like right now, email is not the greatest tool because a lot of emails don't get to people. It's less responsive because it has so much spam. But right now, stuff they get in their mailbox, people respond a lot better to because there's less competition there. It's out of sync. So what happens if you're doing both is you get this nice line of stability in your business. And isn't that what we all want? Repeatable profits that become stable so you can almost rely on the stability of that, right? Say yes. Yes. Thank you.
This is the interactive part of the
This is the
session.
interactive part of the presentation. Basically what this is, and you guys write this down if you want, we use this format as 3 slides, and I'm not going to go over every step. We use this with every consulting client we do, with multi-million-dollar businesses that we work with mom and pop shops who are brick and mortar trying to get online, people who are just starting out. We pull from this plan for everybody, okay? Every business can follow this and benefit from it. This is basically the skeleton of us merging online and offline technologies and the kind of the structure and the path that we follow to have that happen. What we do is we merge in. Everyone knows what an autoresponder is, right? Email autoresponder, internet marketers, I guess you guys know that stuff. You can also do the same thing offline. You can do it offline automatically with direct mail pieces, the exact same way you do with email autoresponders. You can also soon, with someone that we're partnering with, and with another person that we know who's also marketing this, do the same thing, theology in texting. You're going to be able to do autoresponders with texting. And texting really is the new email marketing. So you got the new stuff online, you got the direct mail pieces in your mailbox, you got classified ads in newspapers and magazines that are exactly the same content you use in pay-per-click and AdWords. It's the exact same marketing message. You're just presenting it in a format that reaches more people. You would not believe the amount of people who still do not feel comfortable putting their credit card information or their contact information in online. We added one example. When we first started implementing this in all of our businesses a couple years ago, one of the first things that we do with everyone who has an online business, and you should do this too, if you're not, you should, because you're leaving money on the table. If you have an online order form or sales page, take that exact copy that you've written and tested, format it in Word or whatever, save it as a PDF, put it on your website, the exact same website with your sales copy, and make it a downloadable link. And say, hey, would you like to print out this sales copy and read it? Here's a printable version. It increased our profits 400%.
Well, let me add, may I add to that? Do you mind?
If it's short.
It'll be very short, I promise. Every site we've added it to, it has increased sales on that site or conversion or whatever the purpose of that site is. If it's to get leads, it's increased leads. If it's to make sales, it's increased sales. Whatever the purpose of that one-page site is, or 300% minimum. One site had increased the responsiveness of that web page by almost 14,000%. All we did was copied it, saved it as a PDF, made it downloadable so that they could respond via offline means instead of just online means. That's the only change we made to the site. 14,000% on one of the sites. We regularly integrate this for customers. We're giving it to you free now. Was that short enough? Thank you.
I love the power. But with that story, the reason I tell you that is I want you to realize, because when we start talking to people, if they're offline, to bring them online, or talk to marketers who are online to take and do stuff offline, they get overwhelmed with the possibility of the work. First thing they think of is, oh my God, I'm already slammed with all this work. How am I going to have time to create an offline campaign? It's the same thing you're using online. Your autoresponders online that you already have set up in your email become your direct mail piece autoresponder. You just format it and print it. Okay? Same thing when you move into the texting world. You just reformat into a text message. The sales copy you use online that you've tested online, you print out and you send to people in their mailbox. It's that simple. It's not double the work. It's just reusing the work you've already put in. It makes you work smarter, not harder, like how our mothers used to tell us to do, right? Work harder, smarter, not harder. And basically this, I know you guys are writing it down, so I'm kind of giving you a little time here. But as we look at this, I'm not going to go through all of it, but what we have in here is we have technologies such as texting. We have voice shots where you can pre-record a message on a telephone and schedule it to be sent out during a certain process step. For example, when we have people bring in their orders, we immediately have them receive an email and a voice call saying, thank you, we got your order. You'll be receiving this from us later. You want to communicate to people in the most comfortable form for them to communicate. Not everybody likes online. Most of our orders nowadays come in via the fax machine.
75% of our orders come in
Fax
via
machine.
fax.
A lot of them are printed online and faxed in. They print off the PDF I just spoke about and they fax it into us. So you need to communicate with them, at least in the beginning of the process, in the way that they are most comfortable being communicated with. You can eventually bring those users over if they come in offline. Like, for example, our preferred method of communication is our support system, because the tickets are tracked and we can check those from the road, and it gives us a lot of flexibility and availability to our customers. But people who faxed us their application, they're not going to necessarily want to go online to get support right away. So you kind of, bring them over and wean them to the online side. If you prefer phone calls, gear them in that direction, that you prefer that method. Whatever is most comfortable for you, you can bring them there. But in the beginning, speak to them how they want to be spoken to. Now on these things, there's going to be 3 slides. We're going to go through them real quick. I want you to notice everything in a box. This step, this step, this step, this step, everything in a box, I don't touch. It's been automated. The direct mail stuff, the mailings, the autoresponders, everything is automated. It's been put into a system that's repeatable, and we don't have to touch it anymore. So all this is not a lot of extra work. Up to day 10, we receive a hand raiser, which means they're interested. I don't touch anything. They get all this follow-up from us, and I don't have to touch anything. It's working right now while I'm up here on the stage. You can click. What they do from that first screen is they say, hey, I want to order, I don't want to order. There's 2 funnels of places you put people, a prospect list and your customer list, because you speak to them differently. You don't talk to somebody who's a good customer of yours in the same fashion you would someone who's still a prospect, because you're still kind of dating this person. Over here, you've already got a relationship started. It's different phases in your relationship. So obviously, if you get people into your funnel or into your list or campaigns or whatever you want to call it, you need to segregate them. I would recommend segregating them by product if you have multiple products, as well as by customer and prospect. This right here is the people who have become my customer. Look at all the boxes, you guys. Up to day 30, 5 more things completely automated. The only thing that I do is we actually receive the order and it gets inputted. It's outsourced by our personal assistant or our data entry folks. We don't even touch that. The only thing I do here is we hand write a thank you card. And I gotta tell you, when we started doing handwritten thank you cards, like old school, like your mom and dad used to, have in their life, the customer service that represents, you have a customer for life. I get thank you cards back thanking me for the thank you card.
And then we send them a thank you card for the thank you card.
But I get more phone calls and more follow-up from our customers saying how much they appreciate that one step. It takes me 30 seconds to write, hey, thank you for joining our program. We're looking forward to working with you. Mail it out. 1 stamp, a little card. You will not believe the stickability that puts into your product.
Let's do a quick survey. How many people would be willing to spend 30 seconds writing a thank you card to their customers? 30 seconds per customer over a 30-day period. That's all you have to spend.
Yeah.
Does everybody like that?
Especially if it decreases your refund rate by like 70%. Yeah. I mean, because once they purchase your product, your relationship doesn't stop. You have to consistently still feed that relationship because you want them to use your product or service, right? That's why you sold it, because it's a good value for them. But a lot of people will get it, and like Lee did with eBay, have it sit on the counter. If I send them a thank you card or I send them a note several days later saying, hey, you have any questions? They're going to maybe look at it. It's going to make them think about looking at it and keeping it. And we want our sales to be maintained and retained. So the stickability, it's a big word. But the thank you cards are amazing for that. But look, that's the only thing I do after they purchase for 30 days. Everything else is pre-done. Click. I don't even do that anymore.
She outsourced clicking to me.
Now
How
this
great
right
is that?
here, this part of the hybrid plan is people who don't order. This is my prospect still. For some reason, the offer didn't resonate with them, they didn't purchase. That could happen for several reasons. Maybe it's the wrong time for them. Maybe the information I can give them in that product isn't fitting in what they're currently doing. Maybe it'll work later. Or maybe they were just on the fence, or they decided to buy it, but just put it down and never got back to send it in that form. It happens all the time. So people who don't buy, you've got to send out a second chance offer. Send the exact same thing you sent them the first time. Don't change the price. Just say, hey, here's your second chance. Did you have some questions about it? Were you unsure about anything? Can I help you feel more comfortable about your purchase or your decision to join us? If you don't do that, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Because honestly, a lot of people want your product and just forget to send it in. How many of us click coupons and don't use them? Constantly. Constantly. It's the same kind of thing. Oh, that's great. I'll get to it. And they don't. So we send a second chance offer. Another thing we do is we send a third chance offer. Now, a big tip I want to give you here. Some marketers will send you a second and third chance offer for their product to try to entice you. They'll drop that price down on their product. Well, you know what that tells me? The next time I get a package or offer from Joe, the marketer, I'm waiting to the third chance offer because he's going to drop the price by 70%. Never drop your price. Add a bonus. Do a call with them, something to help convince them that it's the right decision. Don't drop your price because you're just training them to expect that. Okay? Don't train them that. You want to train them to be more responsive in the beginning. Okay? So, I mean, day 90, what have I done? I've written a thank you note. That's my whole process, you guys. After that, the fulfillment of the product goes out automatically, everything. So it can be done. The online and offline can be almost completely automated. It's not that much extra work, and the value that has been added to our customers and to our bottom line has been tremendous. That's it.
Ta-da.
Ta-da! You can come back up now.
Okay. 2 years ago, Robin didn't want to have anything to do with marketing. Now I could just sit there and she could do the rest by herself. It's fine. I like it that way because I've outsourced all my work to Robin now.
Then he has to do less and less.
But this is our plan. I'm sorry for the screen. So the Family Business Success Triangle, it's a way to create balance in your life, to balance family and business, to create true success. Because you're never really going to be truly successful in your mind unless those things are balanced. Now, one of the tips we gave is one of our clients was having problems because they had a couple of kids, and the kids would always come down and bug them when they were trying to get the work done. So we said, let's think about what this says. Let's think about reframing that. What do you do when the child comes down or when your son comes down? Well, I tell them to go away because I got work to do. We tried a different approach. Here's what we did. I said, okay, next time your son comes down, try this. Sit him down and say, hey, can you give Daddy a gift? I need a gift. All I'm going to ask is for 30 minutes out of each day for you to give me a gift of time. Let me have this time to build my business. Creating the balance is about finding ways to make stuff work together. The son gave him the 30-minute gift every day from that day forward. So he had 30-minute blocks. Once he got what he wanted to get accomplished in that 30 minutes, he asked his son, this is great. Can I have an hour a day? I promise I won't ask for more than that. So now he has an hour a day that he can dedicate exclusively to his business, building the business, where in the beginning he was feeling bugged. Now they both feel like it's a gift and an interchange between the two of them. So does that make sense? Is that like a better way to look at it? One of the things we like to do is we like to find better ways to look at stuff. And we've done this all, we've tested ourselves. We made all the mistakes in family and business and everything. We had several businesses that have failed. It's all before we started integrating the plan and integrating the Family Business Success Triangle. And the triangle basically has 3 points. And once again, I do apologize for the screen, but I'll tell you what they are. That way you can write them down and think about them. 3 points of the triangle are mindset. Now, throughout this weekend, you're going to hear from many different people, mindset. You got to have your mind in the right place. A quote that I like to use from a gentleman that I really admire, his name's Glenn Turner, and he says, you can't ever get rich in your pocket until you're rich in your head. And it's true. Unless you have the right mindset going in, you're not going to be able to accomplish the kind of monetary gains and success. Think about it like this. If you can't deal with those problems right now, of not being able to make money online or just making a little bit, not making as much as you want, those problems are going to amplify the more money you make. If you can't deal with them now, how can you possibly deal with them later on? You might be creating your own stumbling blocks because of your frustrations with the process. And you know in the back of your mind that, hey, if I'm having this much problem generating $100 a month, I really want to make $50,000 a month, but think of all the problems I'm going to have then. When we first started making good money on our own, I shared it with my mom because I wanted to try to outsource some stuff to her and do some work with her, help them out a little bit. We gave her sort of an insight into what we were doing and how much money we were making, and she said, oh my God, how are you going to pay taxes on that? She thinks about the wrong things. We tried to reframe the thinking there because it's about the wrong things. So reframe your mind, think about the mindset, think about going in, what is my desired end result? How am I going to achieve the things that I want to achieve? And do I have a plan? Robin talked a little bit about the second point of the triangle. The second point of the triangle is accountability. Now here's the way we feel about things. I shared with you earlier about the eBay product I bought. I didn't return it and get a refund because I felt a personal accountability for buying the product. It's mine, I own it. It's just the way it is. The way accountability works is two ways. It's a two-way street. One, my accountability to you, to deliver for you exactly what I promised I would, each and every time, and to try to help you if there's any misunderstanding between what you expected to be delivered and what was delivered. We always deliver 100% exactly what we say we're going to. Generally, we over-deliver and give you more. Your accountability to me, by making a purchase with us, you have an accountability as well. Because I don't want you to come back 60 days from now and say, Lee and Robin, that didn't work. Because often what happens is we haven't had any interchange between that time. We now insist on interchange with our folks. We contact you several times. We go over things. We're constantly encouraging you to succeed and do the stuff you need to do. The accountability is a two-way street. You have an accountability to me because you bought the product, indicating to me that you wanted to buy it and use it. I expect you to do that. We're both accountable to each other. It's like getting married. Robin said sort of like a marriage earlier. We're married now. You got my product, we're working together, we're married. Let's make this work through thick and thin. You have to think about it like that. Through thick and thin, we're going to make this work. If it doesn't work, I'll give you money back. We're the fastest people I know to refund anybody for any reason. Sometimes it's for reasons that I have. I just don't like you. Honestly, I mean, who wants to work with customers you don't like?
Oh my God.
Are you so desperate for money that you work with people that you hate? Really? I thought that's why you got out of the job, because you didn't like working with those people. Don't bring those people that you don't like into your life. Once again, I'm telling you the way that we run our business and do our thing. We want to be surrounded by people we love, people who resonate with us, people we can laugh and joke and occasionally I can use some low-quality language with. But you want to be around people that you like, right? The repeat profit system. You got to have a system. You got to have a plan. You got to have the desired end result in mind. That's our family business success triangle. We're happy. If we're not happy with you as a customer, if you're not happy with us as your partner, let's end it. It's fine. So we're actually going to end a little early, and I'm not going to sell you anything from the stage. What I'd rather do is spend 15 minutes with you in a session to talk about your business, how we can work together, and how we can help each other achieve the things we want to achieve. What we're going to do is we're ending a little early. I didn't know we were going to have long breaks, so I didn't schedule this out for the entire time. But there is a sign-up sheet. We already have some spots reserved for some people who asked before we got here for the time. The sign-up sheet is where? For the mini session.
There's sign-up sheets and there's information on the back table. And any questions you have now, too, please meet us back there because we have time. We can do that.
Yeah.
We have sessions set up through the rest of the day today, up to 6 o'clock, 15-minute sessions. We'd love to fill it and meet with, I think, at least 20 spots we have left.
Hey, since we are ending early, you just want to do a little Q&A maybe?
Yeah, we could do some Q&A. I'm good with that.
Okay. You guys want to do a Q&A? Maybe
guys
ask some
spend a few
questions
minutes?
right now?
You guys have anything you want to ask?
Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah?
You don't care? No?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
let's do it. Okay, Robin,
Great.
go for it.
All right. Well,
I'll help you as you need it.
What's the URL? We can't see. Yeah, can't see it.
oh, the URL. It's
Oh,
repeatprofits.com. Hit me.
What are you using, did you say you were outsourcing the data input from the fax order?
Hey, honey, let him use your mic so we can get it on tape.
Great idea. He's so smart. Here, now ask.
On tape. It's not tape.
When you're getting the orders via the fax, did I hear you say you were outsourcing the data input, or did you have some mechanical method?
Right. We have data entry folks who do that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is all the faxes come into a central location. We actually have 3 fax numbers, I think, now. So if one's busy, they use the other. Comes into a central location. It gets entered into the system. When we say the system, we use Infusionsoft. It's the best customer relationship management software out there. We were doing all this stuff without it, though. I want to tell you that, but it just makes it so much easier because all your stuff can be done from one spot. You can fax, you can send your fulfillment house orders, you can even do voice broadcast, everything from right there. We're working with them to see if they'll integrate texting into the system as well. So you can actually follow up by text.
And something else to think about too, I know many people in this room have indicated that they're kind of at the entry level, they're just starting to grow their business. They haven't had just their sustainable business so far. It's exciting times to be involved with you guys. I'm really happy about that. But something to think about too is all these things that I had on that sheet that are automated, I used to do by hand. Database tracking was a spreadsheet. I used to do all my own data entry. When it gets to the point you're getting so much response, which is a great problem to have, there are places to outsource it. Don't do the things you don't enjoy. If you enjoy the data entry, keep doing it. If you don't like it, outsource it. But if you're interested in resources, I can get you some after.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. The thing is, if you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to do it. So maybe that's why you're not achieving the things you want to achieve, because doing that one step might be the stumbling block for your entire process. You hate doing that step, like me with eBay. I had a garage full of stuff that we just sold at a yard sale 2 weeks ago that I promised her like 8 months ago I'd sell on eBay.
It was 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago. It was guy time. It's eight months ago. But I mean, I just didn't want to do it, so it's not going to happen. So the stumbling block for me was eBay. I'm not going to do it.
I'm going to go back and get the question from the poor guy who ran all the way up here then didn't get to play our math game.
See, we are giving you a consolation prize.
I'll meet you halfway.
Oh, thank you. That's a good partnership already.
Exactly.
And the funny part about that is I was convinced that the secret, you want to make $50 from 10, you buy it from you for 10 and see how many people in the room will buy it from you for $10.
We've done that too.
Okay, I figured you probably had. So actually, you may have already answered this. You mentioned Infusionsoft, which I use as well. Are you using that to do the voice stuff, the physical mailings, all of it?
Everything.
Everything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to know. Thanks.
You're welcome. But there are resources out there. Those who want to do voice broadcasts and that kind of thing. If you don't have Infusionsoft, because it's kind of a high-end system, once you get to that place in your business, it's a great fit. But until then, there's places like voiceshot.com where you can do a pre-recorded message and have it scheduled to go out. So there are resources.
Yeah, let me share something too. Any clients that we work with, as we build a system with you, we sort of let you tag on top of our system that's already in place. So I mean, like she said, the Infusionsoft is pretty expensive, both upfront and monthly fee. But when you're working with us, you sort of just use our system on top of it.
Or they can. They don't.
Or you can. You don't have to. Yeah.
Can I have a little clarity as to what the meeting that you're proposing we meet with you is about?
Yeah, we were going to do that for you. I appreciate the question. What we like to do is, this is a little different than most of the presentations you've probably ever seen or that you'll see the weekend. It's because we want to spend time with you and just share what we've done and learn what you're doing so we can work together. The mini session that we'd like to do with you is sort of an abbreviation of what we do with folks every day, every week, all the time. We have what we call a strategy session. You can get a strategy session from us. It's us on the phone with you for 30 minutes. We're going to do a 15-minute version of that here where we're going to talk about your business, what you're doing, what you'd like to accomplish, and maybe give you some tips. At the last event we were at, we did a strategy session with a gentleman, and he's on track to double his income this year just from 15 minutes.
And that's less than a month and a half
So
ago.
it's less than a month and a half ago. It's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, the strategy session is basically, because I know a lot of these questions that you're going to have about anything that you look at this weekend, you have questions specific to your business, right? We can answer some of them from up here. We can be some generalized answers. But seriously, the questions that you're going to have, I'm thinking is going to be, okay, I like the hybrid marketing. What steps can I implement? Here's what I have going on. Or, hey, I'm just starting out. This is interesting to me. Where should I, these very specific questions to help you get past very specific places where you are. That's what the mini session is for.
And let me just be absolutely transparent with you here. The purpose of us being on stage normally is to get you in a 90-minute or less time frame to know, like, and trust us so you'll buy our stuff, right? We want to take a little different approach. Spend some one-on-one time with you. That way we see if we're a good fit for each other.
And there are people who we've already met with who, there is information. We obviously have a package. We're all here to help you along your path. There's information on the back table about this package. So the people that we've already had sessions with, you've already got that information, but if you need another copy, it's on the back table as well.
Yeah, and a lot of times when we do these Q&As, people say, well, what do you have to sell? We have a 117 product library right now that we sell via this hybrid marketing system. Just to describe that a little bit to you, let's say that you work with us, you leverage on top of our existing funnel. When you bring customers into that funnel, over the next 23 months, we will offer them about 100 products. The total revenue available from those 100 products is right at $251,000. Now, is everybody going to buy everything? No, but a lot of people are going to buy a lot of stuff. We actually, true story, she told you we get a lot of orders by fax nowadays. We had a couple of hand raisers, which is the first, hey, I want more information about what you're telling me about. We had 3 of those last week come in from last November, from a mailing we did last November. We got these forms and we were thinking, what in the world is this? And it was our old request form that we hadn't used for over a year. So, you know, people will continue to buy, people will continue to interface and interact with you for long periods of time.
I have a question for you.
Yes. Uh-oh.
I would like to know the physical location of your sign-up sheet.
Back table.
It's on the back table, back there?
Did you see the panic look in my eye? Because I really don't know, because Robin put it someplace.
Well, you know, I had people that really desperately want to do this, and I
have
think
an extra one.
there's no pin.
There's no pen inside.
Okay, systems analysis. Always go for the big rocks.
Thank you, Ken. Oh, we have a pen now. Thank you, Jim. Good man, good man.
All right, any more
Right here.
questions?
I'll get yours too. We'll make it quick so we can get 2 more in here. Hit me.
I was noticing on your slides when you were talking about the prospects still, that when you did your second chance offer and your last chance offer, you had them designated as offline only tasks.
Basically, those taggings in those blocks was just indicating that that is an offline thing that happens. If I remember which one you're talking about, a direct mail piece goes back out to them, that's an offline. I just tag it that's an offline
Which one were you talking
step.
about right here? It's hard to see, but
that one.
Oh, that just means that the second chance offer was mailed to them.
So you only do it as an offline task, you don't do it as an email
You can,
offer as well?
oh no, you can do both.
Oh,
You can do both. Like I said, this is just the skeleton. If this can be tweaked to fit any that you want. We do the offers as well through the email as well. Mhm.
yeah, let me clarify that too. This is one of the things with testing. What we found is that the increase in response when we did offline second chances and third chances along with onlines, we got no increase in response if we did the emails. So we just left the offline piece there, and it just works as well. What we do is we actually take pieces out of the puzzle, and if it doesn't decrease response, we leave them out because it saves us money or time or whatever.
Right, but your audience is different, so we definitely would want to tweak and test
Yeah.
and try a little mix-up of what this basically is to see what they respond to best. Because although customers are basically the same, the different niche customers are going to respond slightly different.
Yeah, and we work with deck builders and plumbers and photographers and tattoo
Tattoo guys.
studios. We've done this and applied this in 23 different markets. We're actually doing it with a realtor and a mortgage guy now. And what was that other guy's business? I mean, it works everywhere. What we do is we plug the system into what you're doing,
loss.
and then we add or take away as needed based on what your customers respond to.
Just have a few more minutes, we're going to get questions.
It sounds like you started off online and then kind of figured out, started online and then figured out the offline thing. I was just curious how much of an increase you saw in your business by doing that, and also kind of the ratios as your marketing budget obviously went up because there's a lot more expense in mailing and things like that.
It is, yeah. Let me first say this isn't specifically what you asked, but then I'll let him answer the specifics for you. Online and offline marketing is a great thing to work together. We use the online market space for our testing bed a lot of times. You never want to send out a direct mail piece that hasn't been successful online. Because online testing costs you what? Time. A little bit of money, right? Test your stuff online. Once you start seeing the responses you want or are happy with, put it into a direct mail piece and then start your testing there as well. Always start online first because it's so much less expensive. That's why we all went online to begin with, right? And it's faster. You get instant results. You have a lot more tools that are built in, like Google Analytics, that'll help you see what the response really is and see how your piece is really doing. Once you're happy, then take it offline. You want to do the specifics, ratios, or increase?
I will, but I want to add something because I forgot to mention it earlier. Hybrid marketing just simply makes sense. Your customers are already hybrid customers. They're already buying online and offline now anyway. If you're only giving them an online choice or an offline choice, you're not treating them as the whole customer. The same person who's buying stuff at eBay is also buying stuff someplace else, or Barnes & Noble and Amazon. I mean, people buy books online and offline. I do all the time. I'm a hybrid customer. Hybrid marketing simply works because everybody in here is a hybrid customer. Now, to go back to your question of how much did it increase response, I'll answer it two different ways. One, we did a joint venture promotion with somebody earlier in the year. We told him we were going to do hybrid marketing. We were going to market online and offline to his customers. He said, Lee, there's no need. My people are online people. 72, is that the number we can? 72% of his customers responded by fax, not online.
Yeah.
How much did it increase our business? We had our first big 6-figure month when we started doing offline. All we did was a 10,000 piece mailing, and from that 10,000 piece mailing, we pulled in over 6 figures last November.
A lot. Enough to justify doing offline.
People say, here's a myth too, people say, it costs money for you to send offline. In our one-on-one sessions, ask me to show you how that really works, because what I can show you is it's costing you more money to not send offline. I'll show you the numbers. It works. I think our time's up, is that right? Okay, thank you so much.
Any more questions that you guys have? Just sign up for a session. We'll be glad to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.